Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Private alongside Darren Show and Rock. And Coach, what a weekend it was. First of all, we'll get into the individual stuff in a little bit, but I know you're happiest to get a sweep and play error-free baseball.
Yeah, we played. We did a lot of things this weekend where you beat the game. We got a lot of leadoff men on, and we played error-free. We won the freebie war big time. And I told the team, it really doesn't matter who the opponent is. When you can do those things, you're going to have a chance to win 2 out of every 3. So, just kind of self-scouting and paying attention to who we are rather than the opponents are. That's been kind of the key so far.
We'll talk about the big guy a little bit later. Let's get some other guys out of the way first. Austin Baskin gets his first 2 home runs. I know you're happy to see him get going.
Yeah, very, very capable hitter. We don't envision Austin of being a big-time home run guy right away, but a guy that can use the middle of the field, can be an RBI guy, gives you good at-bats. He has the ability to find the barrel. He can find barrels, and that's his biggest tool, and happy to see him get rewarded for a lot of hard work.
And then something that's not happened in nearly 2 decades, not since in my 17 years, but you have a cycle. Taylor Howell hits for the cycle. A lot of people don't realize, at least in professional baseball, that's rarer than a no-hitter.
It's very rare, and obviously the tough thing is the triple, and he got that in his 3rd at bat, I believe.
Yeah.
And so you're really not thinking about it. Hey, here's a guy that's just kind of joined the extra base hit parade. I think we had 19 or 20 extra base hits on the weekend, and it was just kind of another guy. Guys were feeding off each other, and then with what Hunter did when Taylor hit the home run, nobody really even knew it. It was like, hey, there's another home run. We know Taylor's got power, and then as the game wound down, somebody goes, that was a cycle for Taylor. So again, another freshman that's been sprinkled in there and very capable, very, very bright future, and happy to see him get rewarded.
You got to be happy now the last 2 weekends, because the first 2 weekends, let's face it, you didn't get anything after the 5-hole hitter. Now the last 2 weekends, they've gone on a tear, and now 1-9, this lineup's pretty potent.
Pretty good. If we get that production from the bottom, and the job of those guys in the bottom is to never fail when they have a chance to move a guy or get a guy in from 3rd with less than 2 outs, and just execute the game, and they're starting to do that. So, there's times this weekend when I look up and we got 5 freshmen in the lineup and another one on the mound. So we got 6 freshmen in there playing a lot right now. Actually, Sunday we had 7. Our starting pitcher and our second reliever we went to. So with the lineup and the first 3 pitchers that threw, there were 7 freshmen playing. So, but they're growing up fast, and that's good to see.
All right, let's talk about it. Hunter Goodman over the weekend, record-setting weekend. 3 straight games of the Grand Slam. He had the 11 RBI game on Sunday, which now is a school and American Conference record. He has garnered already several National Player of the Week awards along with the Conference Player of the Week. He's one of those players following his freshman campaign. You don't ever know how a sophomore campaign is going to go, but he is now a player, regardless of how the team is doing, that fans should come out, because this is a once-in-a-generation type of player.
Yeah, he just has a unique ability to flourish in RBI situations, and he's a very good hitter. He could very easily set in his mind that I want to go up there and try to hit 400, but he knows his role is to be a run producer, and so you'll see him get big swings off multiple times during an at-bat instead of just kind of shortening up and putting balls in play. So what a special individual. And, he's just the ultimate team guy. He's a guy you have no problem rooting for. He's taken a lot of pride in his catching, Jeff, and that's going in this year. That was a goal of his. We all knew what he could be offensively. I didn't expect him to do stuff like they make movies about, like what he did this weekend. But what he's doing behind the plate's been very special too. So, he's happy he's a Tiger. We're glad he's here. The other guys in the lineup kind of feed off of him. He gives a lot of credit to the top of the order and the guys that are getting on, and that's obviously what creates those moments for him.
You got to be even happier for him too, because from what all I've heard and understood is he grew up, at Arlington, but a Memphis guy. He was recruited at a very high level by some very national top 10 type programs, but wanted to be a Tiger, and to have him, that energy kind of feeds off to the rest of the team.
Yeah, that's been neat to see. There wasn't a lot of hoopla and you know, national attention when we recruited him that he committed to Memphis. It was kind of like, as a young age, you know, he started following the Tigers. His family were Tiger fans, and he just said, hey, that's what I want to do. I want to be a, you know, go play for my hometown team, and we're sure glad he did. But his mom actually brought out a picture. I can't remember this, but I spoke at an Arlington youth baseball banquet when Hunter was like 8 or 9 years old, and there's a picture of me with Hunter. And you know, at 8 or 9 years old, I'm not sharp enough to realize talent then, but his mom said, you know, he said, I want to play for him someday. So what a neat weekend for a very deserving individual.
Well, the number he's done on the trees in the outfield, he's kind of like your version of Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, he's probably not a favorite of a lot of politically correct people that want to save the pine trees. He's damaging those pine trees, and it's just, you know, and we started seeing it late last year, and then you saw it in the summer in the Cape Cod League, and we saw it for 7 or 8 weeks in the fall, and we didn't know if it could continue, but it sure has. And you know, now we got to take this show on the road, and we'll see how things work out there.
It's been a lot of fun the last couple of weeks. You've had a lot of home games, just the UCA game on the road, but now 9 straight on the road. This week in your first weekend series, and I believe something like 12 of the next 15 or something like that on the road. You're going to be gone a lot, only 6 or 7 home games in the entire month of March.
Yeah. Three series at home. We have this team, in spite of its youth, has established a very good home routine, and I like the vibe of home. Everybody knows their job. You know, just the way the home game day flows. Now we got to find a road routine, which is important. And counting the, you know, this weekend and then the series at Middle Tennessee, at Indiana, at South Florida, now we got really 4 home series to get into a road series routine, which is going to be real important in conference play. So a little bit more challenging for a lot of new guys because the comforts at home are good, but we ought to go into it very confident now with how we've handled the last 2 weekends.
You're going to go to Wilmington this weekend. Probably not going to get a chance to talk to you next week because you'll be driving up to Middle, I'm sure, next Tuesday for the Tuesday-Wednesday series, then at Indiana. So the next 2 weeks in particular will be a big challenge because we know Wilmington's a good team. Middle usually plays you tough up there, and then Indiana's really built that program. Coming off, I guess it was 5 or 6 years ago, they went to the World Series, so they've really elevated their.
They really have, really 3 tough opponents upcoming, and the challenge is going to be keeping these guys just looking at one game at a time, because the road can beat you up. You know how it is, and especially teams that don't have experience. Usually older teams kind of fare well on the road, but I like the confidence that our guys are playing with. There's a pretty good bond in the clubhouse now. Winning kind of breeds that. And it's time to learn another step in the process, and that's developing a home routine for these guys in good environments. You know, there'll be good environment at Middle, very good environment at Wilmington, and then of course Indiana. You know, the next 2 weekend opponents are regional teams from last year, so challenges all the way around.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks, Jeff.
That is head coach Darren Schoenrock. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.